Right from the mud, there's dirt on my hands.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Quest for Success podcast. We're making something happen, Matt and Blair.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. Today we have another special guest. We've got Jaman. This man, I mean, your list is huge, bro. So you're a student. You train online people for fitness in the fitness world. You're a TikTok celebrity, bro. Did you notice that? I mean,
I don't know about that.
bro, you're a TikTok celebrity. You've got DST apparel. I mean, bro, your list is, I don't even know how you make time for all that, let alone making time for yourself, because you're also a competitive bodybuilder. I mean, Jesus, man. You've got it all, bro. But welcome to the podcast. We're pumped to have you on, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
what
so
you've been doing is really dope.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, we hit a little bit of the like some general description of what you do. So tell everyone else just a little bit more about you and what you're working on and what's going on in your world.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said earlier, my name is Jaman, aka the Gen Z trainer, and
Right.
I've been working out since I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm 22 right now, so about 9 years. And yeah, I always been in sports my whole life. And then once I graduated high school, got into bodybuilding a little more seriously. And that freshman year of college for me, I picked up a competition. And from there, that just kind of opened the doors for me in the sense of the, fitness world and bodybuilding and lifting weights and all that. And ever since, I just never looked back and just been doing that ever since. And I started a clothing line my freshman year geared towards bodybuilding and people that are looking to change their lives and also reach this destination that, we all have. And yeah, man, that's me. That's me.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. I know I met you. We both met you through school, working at the gym. So obviously you have a lot of experience in the gym, working there, lifting there. So you started working out when you were 12. Is that what you said?
Yeah, bro.
12 years old, bro? You're lifting in the basement at 12 years old?
Yes.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
man. I don't think
it is so funny, bro, because only thing I wanted was just biceps.
Yeah. Curls for the girls, baby.
Hard with the bicep curls, and that
Wait, there's more than just biceps?
I think so. Like
That's awesome, man. I mean, I think I started lifting in high school for sure. I think probably freshman year of high school for football. I definitely was the first time I can remember I started lifting.
I just told you about this. I didn't start lifting until literally my last semester of high school.
Jeez, man.
last semester
of high school. I was
You know why that is?
Something like that.
It's because you played soccer, bro.
I mean, we did stuff for soccer, and I could tell you how many times I squatted on one hand before a year ago.
Yeah. Jesus. No, man. I mean, the gym is. I definitely soaked that in for football for forever, and I've always, man. I talked a lot about doing a competition a while ago, and just putting myself into a goal, and because I've been to gyms where people just do competitions. I mean these people are freaks, bro. I mean they are just to see them on their peak week. I mean, holy shit, it's a different world,
When you say bodybuilding is a lifestyle, they're the ones who actually live it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was it's kind of funny. When I was at IU, when I just broken up with a girlfriend earlier on when I was in school, I was trying to talk to this girl, and she was actually a bodybuilder. Or she wasn't a bodybuilder. She was in the bikini division. And I was talking to her, and I was like, yes, she did a competition. And I was like, oh, so tell me all about it. What'd you do? And how was it? And she was like, well, I got up usually at 2 a.m. every day and did fasted cardio for an hour and a half on the Stairmaster. I'm talking to this girl. I'm like, holy shit, this girl's freaking crazy. But she ended up winning her competition that she did, and I haven't checked back in on her in a long time. But I remember I told her, I was like, yeah, I would love to do a bodybuilding competition. And she told me straight to my face, she was like, nah, you don't have the size for it. It's like, whoa. I was like,
yeah, bro. When you get into
reality
that
check.
realm
I
of
was like,
bodybuilding, it's like straight honesty. Like, no, people do not fuck around.
dude, I was like, damn.
Well, I mean, you think about it, you're getting up on stage and you got people just nitpicking every little thing. It's like,
Everything.
nope, not that. Nope. nope.
I'm gonna step up there like, dude, you train legs? I'm like, yes, I swear I do. Oh my god, man! I just remember her saying that to me, and I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, no, you're right. You're not wrong. But dude, it was funny, man. And I mean, just to see those people though. I mean, their dedication and their vision. I mean, once they decide that once they set that competition date, that tunnel vision is literally tunnel vision, and that's all they do. And it's straightforward from there, and there's no deviation, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfection, and it goes down to the nitty gritty details too, which is crazy. Like the amount of sodium they get in, the amount of water they get in. I've had a buddy who did it, and I don't think this is the right way to do it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but his coach cut out, like, I think he said that before his last couple of days, the most amount of water he got was a cup of water a day.
A cup of water?
Yeah. I've heard it.
Like
Like leading
dry
up to
out.
the competition.
Yeah,
right?
Try and dry out.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I was like, I first thing I thought of, I was like, dude, this guy starts choking on some food, man. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna ruin the rest of your competition. You start pounding some water down to try and get the food down. Like, that's nuts. A cup of water. I was like,
that's
woo.
insane.
Yeah,
That's definitely the dangerous side of bodybuilding.
for
you know?
sure, dude. I mean, that's what I mean. That's some of the things that people don't see, but like, that's some people do that, man. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen some modern day coaches like taking them through some different routes and the right ways to do
Yeah,
things.
doing sodium.
Yeah, exactly.
Sodium and stuff like that.
Exactly. But no, yeah, I mean, I think we kind of we talked a little bit about what the topic we wanted to be. We kind of wanted to be just a little bit about, obviously we're going to go everywhere. We had a little bit of a conversation yesterday, and it went all over the place, which was awesome. We had a great conversation yesterday, but
Yeah.
we kind of wanted it to be about fitness and how it relates to life.
Mm.
And, you know, just the journey that you have to go on, the dedication, the vision, just the goals and the goal setting, everything that goes into it. So I think first question, I got a question for you is, obviously when you were training for your first competition, you had your company at that point, correct?
Yeah.
And you were a student. You weren't a TikTok star yet. That wasn't around. But you got your training clients, right, around that time. I mean, how did you worked out yourself? How do you balance all that?
So back then, I honestly had no balance, bro.
Yeah.
It was one of those type of things where I just kind of went into it with the mindset of like, I'm doing this and it's gonna happen and it has to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, something suffered from it, like school. I was still able to come out and like make decent grades from it, but you know, back then when I decided to sign up for my first competition, it was a lot of work, man. I had to get a job because it's almost about like $500 to $700 to like fully pay for a competition. So like I had to work on top of that, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting up around like, I would say 5 a.m. every day. And that was either to go into work or I had to go into the gym and train because, you know, I had to do my cardio in the morning and then my lifting in the evening. But that, like, ironically, as like busy as it sounds, that did kind of build a schedule for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't go out on the weekends and party anymore because like obviously you guys take your diet more seriously. And, you know, drinking and then going to get some fast food after partying, like, you know, it's just, you can't do it. You can't do it. And so this really put me on a schedule of lifting, working, and then school, you know what I'm saying? And starting these businesses as well, too. And, you know, after doing it for such a while, I was able to learn for myself what everything had to, what percentage of energy I could devote to each thing and what I like wanted to devote to each thing. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can see that. Like, there's many times that I'll create a schedule for myself for the week, and it's looking at it from a third perspective, the outer perspective, it looks crazy. But like I'm in that routine, I establish that routine of I'm going to do this, then I plan it all out, and it just feels like it just flows. You know what I'm saying? Like some people,
right.
yeah, it does, and I think it feels right too because it's something that I want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not something that I'm forced to do. It's something that like, and even might be things that suck, but the goals that I have, and I know it's going to get me there. So those goals that I have are things that I want to reach. So when you have that, even no matter how crazy your schedule is, if you have that mindset that this is where I want to go and this is what I actually want to do, it becomes so much easier to do it.
Yeah, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, like, you know, may come up, you will figure out a way to like clear that obstacle to get to what you need to get to. You know what I'm saying? Because like, one, you know it's right for you, and two, you want to accomplish this goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And from there, it's just like, it's really, it doesn't seem like obstacles when you're like really striving to get to that destination, to get to that goal, because it's just like, oh, that's it, cake work. All right, just do this, do that, out the way, and then you're on to the next thing. You're on to your next, you know, stepping stone to get to where you need to get to.
Yeah, I want to go back to like when you said like percentage. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And he said he like breaks it down. I mean, he's a crazy guy. I mean, obviously he like is on a different level from everybody else.
Yeah.
But he breaks it down like he called it brain cycles. That kind of reminded me when you said percentage of energy.
Yeah.
So like you just break it down each task of what you're doing. You know, you said you got 4 or 5 things all going on at one time. I mean, you just break it down as far as, okay, I'm going to do this. You know, like you said, waking up at 5 a.m., go work. Then I'm going to do my schoolwork, just breaking it down in your days like that. And then, I mean, at that point, you're going to do it for like a week, 2 weeks. You get in that rhythm. And after you get that rhythm, I mean, it doesn't feel like anything. It's just another day, another week. Just keep doing it. And like you said, when something comes in the way, you know, you've dealt with that thing 100 times. You know, like, you know, it looks like an obstacle to somebody else, but for you, you've done it, you know, 100 times. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this, do that. Boom, it's done. On to my next task. You know, keep going.
I feel like let's see, once you get that rhythm, you start rolling, you feel like a freight train.
Yeah.
And you literally are going down the tracks and towards your destination, and you're going pretty good speed, and something comes out in the middle of the tracks, you're running that bitch over. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, like you doesn't matter what. Yeah, you literally are unstoppable. Like you just feel like there's some days, like especially when I was doing 75 hard, like I literally felt like a fucking freight train, bro. Like I just felt like I put something in front of me right now, I'm gonna run right through it. I feel like the Kool-Aid man busting through these walls, dude. Like it felt, everything felt right, and like I said earlier, like, it's things that I wanted to do. So like, and I've done these things before, and there's obstacles, and we talk about this all the time. Conditions will never be perfect. Like people have to have that mindset that when they're gonna be going towards a goal, something's gonna come up that's not gonna go their way. But when you have that mindset and that goal, and you got that momentum going forward, you're going to bust right through it. And like you said, that you talked about too, people looking at you like think like, oh man, I know this person's life. They got a lot going on. I don't know how they do it, but man, you have this routine. You've done it multiple times before. You're just going to keep busting through it. It's become secondhand.
Whenever I was
this is what we were talking about yesterday too. But like when you're able to look at something, reverse engineer it, break it down into steps, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And if you can talk to yourself and just be like, all right, I'm gonna take this one step at a time. I'm not gonna try to look, 50 steps forward. I'm just gonna do step one the best, and then when I get done with step one, I'm going to step 2.
Yeah, it's
step 3, repeat, step 4. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's just little wins that accumulate up and up, make it bigger and make a more win, because once you get on a winning streak, it's game over. But you have to break it down, like, and reverse engineer it. There's like everyone's got goals, and like our goals are going to be very in the future and long term, and these giant goals, which sound crazy, but we talked about earlier yesterday, we said that you find someone else that's done it and just figure out how they did it and just work the steps backwards and just do it. It ain't that hard. And like we talked about yesterday too, like you see like your friends and family members that are going through tough times and they have these goals, and you know what their goals are, and you see them quitting and giving up when they hit these roadblocks, and you're like, you want to just like scream and be like, no, just keep going. Like you can do it. Like it's so frustrating when you watch someone else, when you have that momentum too. It's like, you want to jump in and like tell them to keep going, but they just, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like they don't.
It's just the whole thing of today's, society with social media and everything. It's, you see Instagram, models and, all these famous people on, social medias, and it's just, they see that, the lifestyle they live and they want it immediately and follow this, get rich quick things. So they kind of just don't see the whole process of what it took to go from point A to point Z.
Exactly. And even going off of that, bro, is that like a lot of people are just stunting on that too. Like a lot of people that are like these Instagram models may not even have that life that they were trying to portray.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they squatted next to that Lambo and took a picture of it and then got in their Toyota.
Exactly, bro.
Nothing against you driving Toyota or anything. That, but don't portray that if you don't have it.
Exactly. And like it's so frustrating, and especially because I mean everyone lives on social media right now, and especially nowadays with not a lot going on in the world. I mean, people all the times before, you're surrounded by social media everywhere. So when you see that, and that's all what your feed is just all these great things. And if your life sucks, and it puts you down, man. It sucks. It feels like, it's like, why am I not there? I'm taking these steps. Why can't I get there? Especially when you see like some of these younger kids that are millionaires already, and they've done like some, drop shipping website, and they caught it quick, and then they just started rolling. And you watch, he's rolling right now, and it's just like you're looking at that, and you're like, man, like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with my life? Like, why can't I get there? But man, like, you can't compare. We talked about this before too. You can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. I mean, that's what brings you down. You have to find people that have done it, and like you said, reverse engineer it, and then find people who are on the same level as you and come together as a community and start working together and build yourselves up. I mean, if you find people that want to get better and you surround yourself by them, and this comes back to the proximity principle that we talked about before too, is if you keep surrounding yourself by those people and they keep bringing you up, you guys keep coming up together, it's just so much more motivating. And like we talked about before too, is like we wanted to like break up schedules, to like dedicate someone certain weeks to be like the enforcer of like what do you call it?
What was it?
It was like something enforcer, like it's like not responsibility. I forget what it was, but it's like essentially just someone that like keeps everyone in track. So like, if someone's like, oh man, I'm gonna go get a cheeseburger. Accountability person. Yeah. So like if someone is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a burger from In-N-Out, you want anything? You text them, that person's that week is like, no, you're not. You're gonna come back here and you're gonna get your food that you have in the fridge, and you're gonna heat up your chicken and your rice, and you're gonna eat it. And like it's that person that like, and it's that memories where you see that and you're like, oh shit, no, you're right. That's what the goal is. I needed that right now. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's always a good time to have a cheeseburger every now and then. It's good to like cheat and deviate a little bit. That's life. No one's perfect, but it's nice to have that someone to keep you motivated and keep you.
And just like the bodybuilders we were talking about earlier, they have those coaches. Discipline for how long it takes for them to get ready for that show. They have those coaches, probably multiple coaches most of the time, helping them get along, helping them stay on the track that they're on. So, I mean, don't think you like are different or not as good as, them, or can't do the same things they do just because, you don't see everything that goes into that.
Yeah.
And then that goes to another like good point too, is that like, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people that see these people that are like them and may have these physiques that they won or at this certain level of success in business, like they still have this person that you guys were talking about that can hold them accountable, like they always have somebody there in the corner to kind of like push them in the right direction and keep them aligned, And I think that's like an ultimate trait of becoming successful in any field, is still having that mentor or like that corner-like person to be like, nah, like you can put in another 20% of this, you should dial back on that. You should do this more efficiently this way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's good. Sometimes when you get that tunnel vision too, you don't realize what's going on around you. And like, it's nice to have that person who can look in on your life and they see you from that outside perspective. And they're like, no, man, like you need to start doing this. You probably should change this up a little bit, because you had that tunnel vision. You're thinking you're doing everything right, but might be something else that's going to better you. And people are nervous to get mentors and these coaches. And I mean, these coaches, they charge, but some of them charge you money. But man, dude, if that return, the return on that investment is going to be huge. I mean, it's going to be massive. But like, you have to obviously got to find the right ones. And there's people out there that are obviously cheat the system and they, exploit people just for money, which is bad. But like, if you can find someone that's going to push you and motivate you, that investment is always going to come back tenfold. I mean, it's amazing to have those mentors and those people. And I personally don't have like a coach or a mentor that I pay for, but I've got friends in my corner and like people that I know that I always touch base with all the time. And I always like, hey, like, what's going on? And like, they give me tips of like what things that they're doing. We always keep talking with each other.
Yeah.
It's great to have someone, like a group like that. And especially like, I don't know, like people are always like, when they have like this business idea too, or like this idea that they think is going to be great, they want to go in it alone and they don't want to like go in with someone. But having someone on your side is important, man, because you can't do everything fucking by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I also feel like another thing about the mentorship is that, man, when I came into everything, like especially with bodybuilding, I didn't really like. I'll probably say towards the middle end of my prep, I got a coach, but before that, the only type of mentor I had were people on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? The people on social media. And like that's one thing I want to like make clear to my audience and to your audience, or like to anybody that's really trying to better themselves, is that like you don't necessarily always have to have like an in-person mentor.
No,
if you find somebody that's like doing something similar to what you're doing, maybe not even doing something similar, but if they're successful in their field, that same formula that they did for themselves can still be applied to whatever you're trying to do in your field. And the same wisdom that they spit can be the same wisdom that you apply to your craft too.
100%, man. And not everyone's got hundreds of dollars to blow on a coach, but everyone's got social media and they can find people that are just like them and that want to, or they're already there, that post all those content that's, important for them.
Yeah. That's why I never believe that bull crap that, social media is all bad. Cause it's that social media definitely does have its bad, but 100%. It's not all bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make social media what you make it, and you can go on there and look for people that are inspiring, that, that give good messages, or you can go on there and look for people that do the stupid shit and try to get insta famous in one night by doing something stupid in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what you make of it.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I hear a lot of people like talking like celebrities and stuff. A lot of them have different like strategies for how they do their social media, like how they go through it. Some of them have like people that do Phorm, whatnot. Some of them choose like not read any comments at all, and some of them do choose to like read comments. I don't know what I would do if I was in that scenario or not, but a lot of people that do like read the comments. It's just one of those things where they read it, they know there's a lot of bad things being said about them and things like that, and they just like I've said in another podcast, you callous your mind over it. And you just read it, brush it off, boom, keep going on with your day. Some people, like I said, just have other strategies as far as just not reading and whatnot. So just find your strategy. Like you said, you make social media what you make it, so you can follow the people that you want to follow. You're still going to see some bad things come up every now and then, but you can definitely filter some of it out. And then at that point, the things that do come through, you should callous your mind of, okay, I didn't like that, but I don't have to react to it. I don't have to get in a fight, anything like that. Just keep scrolling. As simple as that. Just callous your mind and, like I said, get in a rhythm of doing things the right way, and then just keep going.
Yeah. And like, you're definitely going to see, like, even while you're like still filtering out the bad stuff on social media, you're still going to see like bad stuff come around while you're still bringing in the good stuff. But like, as you start to filter out as much bad as possible, the little bad that comes through is not going to be as damaging if you had like 40 posts in a row that were just straight up, some fuck shit,
Yeah, and that shit drains you, man.
Yeah, bro.
If you get in that negative mindset, and that's how you start your day. A lot of people start their day going on social media right in the morning when they're laying in bed. I'm guilty of that too. I try not to as much as possible. I try to pick up a book or something to distract myself from that. But like, if that's how you start your day, that's man, your day's gonna be rough. And not always, and you can come out of that. But like, if you start your day already down and upset and angry about something, it's hard to turn it around from there, and especially at the start of your day.
And it's one of those things you don't even notice too.
Yeah.
And if you get in a rhythm of, like you said, reading a book rather than, on Twitter or something like that, I guarantee after a month, you're going to notice a big difference in like your mentality and like your productivity and everything, you know.
Yeah, bro, your energy levels will just shoot up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would shoot up. I remember when I like made that switch over from checking social media every day as soon as I wake up to just kind of like either reading a book or putting in like a podcast, like a motivational podcast or something like that. Bro, it's crazy by how much your energy levels will increase, man. Like, you just feel like you're already on top of the world as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, I mean, I woke up this morning. I saw your text. You texted me this morning with the link to a video, motivational video of a UFC fighter that started out as homeless. I forget what his name is again. I'm not huge UFC.
I can't remember it either.
Yeah. He's like one of the number one heavyweight fighters in the UFC right now. I mean, that's how I started my day. So I watched that video and I was like, fuck, I'm getting out of bed. Let's roll. We're rolling. Like, I gotta go. I got all these things to do. Like, let's go. I felt
freight train.
That freight train like started kicking into gears. Those gears started turning, and like I was like, damn. All right, I know what the mission is. I gotta get out of bed. Let's roll. That was great. I love things like that, and I think there's probably apps out there that like send you stuff like that in the morning. I bet you there probably is.
Yeah.
I gotta look into something like that because like especially a video, like I feel like I'm a person where if it's early in the morning, and I usually get up pretty early in the morning. If I put on a podcast, I'm gonna fall back asleep, depending on what it is. But if I watch
turn on real AF though.
No, really not. But if I watch a video, man, I'm glued. My eyes are glued to the screen, and it just like that blue light keeps me up again. It keeps in the gear, and dude, I start rolling. That was a good one this morning. I got something to you. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Fire.
I would definitely add to that, like even going to sleep. A lot of people like check social media before they go to sleep. Yeah. And I think there's definitely studies out there that say, what you're taking in, not only that blue light, is bad that you're taking right before you go to sleep, but also just, like the mentality of like, you're on social media, you're taking in bad things, and that's just going to affect your sleep too. Not only like waking up, but also going to sleep too. So I think it's another big thing too.
I agree. I agree. Got a question from?
Yeah, just prepare.
I think I had some for run down.
Prepare the night before. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, I prepare everything the night before. Like I got a whiteboard in my room, and every single night when I cross off, like no matter so my last thing I usually do every night before I go to bed is like stretch, this is recent. I haven't done it a lot. I've been trying to stretch a lot now, like just because it's a flexibility. I'm just trying to make it a priority right now. It's like one of my focus things. But that's like the last thing I do, and it's the last thing I'm supposed to check off. But a lot of my tasks are the same day to day. So instead of just leaving that unchecked off, I still check it off and then erase it and then write it over again for the next day.
Wait, so you stretch at the end of the night?
End of the night.
When you stretch in the morning?
End of the night.
Try stretching in the morning.
I'll try it. I'll do both. I'll do
both.
both. Yeah. But that's like something I do too. Is I like to write down whatever I need to accomplish. I have like my power list every day. So like 5 things that I need to do that's gonna help advance me in life. And these are not like go get your oil changed or like call grandpa. Those aren't like your power list things. These are like for us, like for Phorm, we're trying to grow social media. So it's like make a TikTok for Phorm today. It's stretch for 10 minutes. It's read 10 pages. It's go work out for 45 minutes. It's things like that I know are going to help better me and push me forward. And that's how I end my day and plan it for the next day. So when I wake up, I already know what I have to do that day. Yeah. Because instead of waking up and just scrambling and trying to figure out what you should do, you already have a game plan right now.
Exactly. The first thing you need to do, and you can just go and attack that.
Yeah.
Being able to, as soon as you start your day off, just kind of like doing that one thing you need to do, it really does set the rest of your day, not only to set up for like, accomplishing stuff, but it builds that assurity and confidence within yourself that like, I can tackle whatever comes at me today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Who was the guy that wrote the book? Didn't you write a book about like making your bed and the first thing you do?
I have it.
I know you're talking about.
It was an ex-Navy general. Yeah, I have it. It's literally sitting on my bookshelf right over there.
You literally start your day checking something off. So the very first thing in your day is you're productive. You did something. Check something off the list. Boom, you're already on the right path. Yeah. So that's just. I haven't read the book, but I know the mentality, like what it means. So like, I should read it, but I know like what it's about, and that's the first thing I do every morning is fucking make my bed.
So he was an admiral in the Navy. His name is William McRaven.
Okay.
pretty much he just says, like, the title of it is obviously Make Your Bed. It's just little things that you can change your life, maybe the world. And it was, if I remember correctly, it was a speech that he gave during, I forgot what school, what college it was, what university, but it was a speech he gave to graduates for graduation that just like absolutely blew up for him, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a fire speech, man.
I agree.
Fire speech.
I agree. I was gonna say, I know we wanted to talk a little bit more, talk about fitness a little bit more and how it relates to life, but I kind of wanted to ask you, like, we talked about it like yesterday again too. I want to bring it up again because it was important. Like, I've ever seen there's a meme out there. It's like, life is just like a squat. You have like the heavy things holding you down, but it's your legs and your strength and the continuous like leg days before that bring you back up. You ever seen that meme before?
I haven't.
But I see it. It's pretty awesome. It's a meme, but like, it's pretty cool. It kind of was like a representation of what life is. You have all this external forces pushing you down, which is essentially the weight that's on your back for a squat. And then you've got everything that you did before to get you to that moment, all those reps, all those early mornings, all those leg workouts, for example. And then it's that endurance and that strength that you have in yourself that pushes that weight back up and keeps you moving forward.
Exactly.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then as you keep going on, you know, you're gonna get stronger, so you're gonna get more weight, more life pressure comes in whatever endeavor that you go on. But guess what? Your legs will get stronger. You know what I'm saying? And that's with everything, 100%.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's people that want to better their lives. I think fitness is a great thing to get involved in.
Oh,
obviously. It's
for anybody.
Yeah,
anybody, fitness is great, but also if you're looking, you know, for that kind of lifestyle, you know, entrepreneurship and just, you know, I think just getting better and starting from point A if you don't really come from much. You know, I think, you know, fitness is a great starting point. I think, I don't know if you had Dr. Sales or not at IU, but Dr. Sales kind of talked about how sports is a microcosm of society. And I think it can kind of be, put in the same frame as, you know, lifting and, you know, healthy, you know, way of life is, you know, a microcosm of society and just well-being as well. Just because, you know, I think I was thinking of the metaphor earlier, like, you know, if you're starting a business or you're, you know, applying for a job, you know, anybody can, you know, hit apply and put the resume, drag the resume and just, you know, a job and apply. Anybody can make a website and, you know, start that. But I think that's just like, you know, like when bringing back to lifting, that's just putting the pin in the weight. You got to lift it and you got to put in the work. You know, you can't, you know, get past making the website. You got to put in that work to build that website up and actually lift that weight. You got to like actually, you know, do your research for that job you're applying for and actually, you know, lift the weight and actually reach out, you know, people and, you know, do research the job you're, you know, applying for, you know, research the person you're interviewing with, you know, different things you can do. Lift that weight rather than just, you know, anybody can do the things. You put the pin in the weight, but you got to move past that and actually lift the weight.
Exactly. And that one rep will prepare you for the next rep. And
right. Yeah.
Be able to get you to the next 3 reps. You know what I'm saying? Like it all plays in with each other. It really does. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that the mind and the body are connected without us even like really, really thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? There's been studies done where the increased level of physical activity increases like your serotonin levels. So like it makes you even more happy. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
You can kind of get those two things aligned with each other and you're on your purpose, like you really are unstoppable at that point.
Yeah. And I agree with you about like, for me, for like one of my biggest things that makes me happy is lifting. I love going into the gym, getting that stress out and just the feeling afterwards when I leave, I feel amazing, obviously. But there was times during like recently when the gyms were closed, I couldn't work out. And I didn't have those weights to lift, and like I could run, and I started training for a marathon. But like, I love the weights, man. I love curls for the girls. I love all that stuff, you know. Like, yeah. But being away from it, like that, I could definitely tell a big change in my mood. Like, I just would like look at myself in the mirror and be like, I knew where I was before, and I was like, man, dude, I need to do something even though the gyms are closed, just have something to keep pushing me forward because man, my energy levels just dived, my mental health straight down, like everything, man. It was hard. It was a hard time, but
it's crazy. It's for real crazy how like impactful the gym is to your mental, bro.
Yeah,
it really is. Because like I was the same way when, quarantine was at like its peak and we couldn't go out. I had like dumbbells at home, but it's not the same as actually going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And man, like that first workout coming back, going to the gym, bro, shoot.
My energy levels were so high, but the day afterwards, oh my God, I couldn't walk, man. I felt like I was so sore. It was nuts. Our gyms were closed out here for I think it was like 2 months or whatever. And I haven't lifted in a little bit, and man, that felt so nice being in there. But the next day, I was like, "Whoo, man!" And having that next leg day again, I was like, "Oh man, the next 2 days were rough." But no, I think it is important, and I think it's not only good for your mental health. It's just a good example for life. You got those days where you don't want to go into the gym, and you don't want to go in there and put the work in, but you have to go in there.
I swear those are the best workouts too. When you like don't want to go and you force yourself, I swear they're always the best days.
Yes. Man, I'll get in there, especially days I don't really want to work out. I'll put on a motivational video and just go at it, bro. And it's like you said, those end up being the best workouts because you absolutely feel like a beast.
Yeah.
You know that you don't want to do it, but you're still there doing it. It's reassuring to yourself that
it's like you feel like you're in control. There's something in the back of your brain telling you don't. Yeah. You're like, fuck, I'm in control here. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, you're talking back to Andy Frisella calls it your bitch voice or your boss voice. Yeah. So you have your bitch voice telling you like, no, you shouldn't go to the gym today. Or you shouldn't go send out that last email, or you shouldn't go do this. Or you should eat a burger or whatever. But it's your boss voice that tells you, no, you need to go push through. You need to go do this. You need to go do that. If you can control your bitch voice and have your boss voice overpower it, dude, man, talk about a freight train, dude. I mean, that's insane.
In some weird, twisted way, I like my bitch voice. And I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
I love it. I love it. I love when I I down like, you should really just stay home. You can't do that. Sit back down. Like, this isn't really supposed to happen. Like, don't try to make it happen. Like, I just like say, nah, fuck that. Like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Whether you're with me or not. Even though I tell myself that, like, it pushes me and it makes me level up so that I can accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Hell yeah, dude. Do you listen to David Goggins ever?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. He talks that dude is on another level, bro. I mean, that dude, he just had his knees drained from all that fluid that he just had in them from running marathons every single day. And I just saw a video of him running again yesterday. I was like, holy, like this dude, it's insane his mental strength. But he talks about you talk about calcing your mind over. So you just have those when your bitch voice talks and your boss voice overpowers it. You just keep winning and winning and winning. So you just keep calcing your mindset that I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I in a weird way also like my bitch voice because there's times where like when I was doing 75 hard and it was raining outside and I'm like I can look at the weather app and be like when's a good time to go outside and do my outdoor workout, or I can go do it right now when it's pouring rain outside. Mm-hmm. And I went outside when it was pouring rain, and that, man, dude, I mean, you're out there doing your workout and cars are driving by you and they're just looking at you like, what's this dude doing outside? Like, is he homeless? Like, is he okay? Yeah, I'm like, and it's like, I'm walking out there, I'm like, yeah. I'm walking by all the people inside their houses watching TV, and I'm like, I just passed you, I just passed you, I just passed you. That's like, I don't know if everyone else said that thing, but like, I say that shit all the time in my head. And then I'm like, man, am I crazy? But like, no, dude, like that's just something I fucking love.
That's what I was when I told you about that. We talked about it on the podcast. Like I had that same experience, like I forget what day it was, probably like day 40-ish or so.
Yeah. And
you can feel that, like, oh man, like I kind of want it to rain so I can go out there and run in the rain. Yeah. And another thing, like I had this thing, I was kind of one of those people like always like if I buy stuff and like bring it home and like it tastes like bad food or something, I'm gonna eat it if it's there. Uh-huh. It's like I was always bad when I lived with my parents. When I was living with myself, I was good because I would only buy it and I would only eat what I buy.
Yeah.
But then like halfway through 75 hard, I was like, I'm gonna buy like a candy bar and just fucking look at it every day and not eat it.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty cool feeling too. Just like I felt like I was at a freight train. I'm like, I'm not gonna get stopped. Like nothing's gonna like take me out of the way of where I'm going. So I just bought it and just fucking look at it every damn day and just like, fuck you, no.
Yeah.
David Goggins, he had this interview with Tom Bilyeu. You know who Tom Bilyeu is?
I do, yeah.
Man, I'm not sure if you guys seen the interview or not, but it's so good, bro. I'll send it to you after this podcast. But in the interview, David Goggins was talking about how when he went out for his Navy SEAL certification, or like he was going through Hell Week, and he was saying how when the officers would come at him and like give him commands, like do this, do that, and he would look at them and smile and do it, that meant the world to him, because he knew that when they went home to a comfy bed to kiss their kids goodnight, to eat a good meal, that he was still out in the trenches putting in the work, and he's at home in the comfort thinking about him putting in the work. That's what I like to think, man, when I'm like, you know, especially if it's like a Saturday night and like, you know, I know people are going out partying and whatnot, like, you know, I'm here putting in the work so that tomorrow I could be in the best position possible. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I want to stress the importance of this though. Like, we're talking about this stuff like it's secondhand to us, because the reason why is because we love it, what we do.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not like, if this was like doing something that I would absolutely hate, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be going out and partying. You got to find what you like. You have to figure out what's your purpose, what is something that's going to help push you forward. And once you find that, dude, man, that's when all this stuff becomes, it's a lot easier to see what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, people listen Saturday nights in your room, working on the computer or working out in the gym, and everyone else is partying, all your friends are trying to text you to come out. It sounds crazy to someone else listening, but if you're in those shoes where you found out something that keeps you motivated and keeps you moving and you actually love it, what you do, it's not crazy, man. It's
that, because that's
like a normal day.
Get on your purpose, on your passion, on your path. It is such a fulfilling feeling. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, you feel so whole. You know, that's the only way I could put it. You feel so whole that you really don't care about anything else. And like we were saying, like, you got this tunnel vision on, and you're still like, you know, you're not oblivious to you know, stuff going on in life, but you know, you got this tunnel vision, and the only thing that you want to accomplish and you want to work and happen is this goal that you have.
Yeah.
And you know, if that means sacrificing the weekends or sacrificing that night with that chick, or if that means sacrificing that cheeseburger that you want, like, it goes, and it's you know, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And that you're in that tunnel vision where, like, you know, you're not going to waste your energy on those other things that are outside of whatever is not going to move you forward. Like, it just becomes something where you're like, no, like, I'm not going to waste my time getting into, and just for example, talk about social media. I'm not going to waste my time getting into an argument with someone on social media because it's a waste of my time. It's not going to get where I want to go. So you just ignore it. But like, if you don't have that drive, that purpose, you're going to find yourself by wasting your time in a bunch of different things. You're going to start procrastinating on projects. You're going to start, you know, blowing off a bunch of different things and just doing whatever you want, like with your friends and things that don't push you forward. But man, once you find it, dude, like, it's just, I don't know. It's something that, like, dude, you have to experiment with things too.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out, you gotta start trying different things, and, you know, like this, and also this can be our purpose right now, but 10, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, something else might come around where it might change. And that's fine.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. You just adjust and you take whatever you learned from before and you just keep moving. That's cool. I mean, it keeps it entertaining too. Like, you know, we started Phorm together. Like, obviously I want to grow Phorm as big as possible, but I want to keep branching out and do different things too. We talked about that before. Like, that's not just one thing I want to do for the rest of my life. I've got, like, that's like a thing. That's the path to this giant fucking, like, universe of, like, all these other things that I want to do too.
It's a tree. You know, you got your trunk, and then you got different branches coming off that trunk. But at you know, the core is still the trunk, you know?
100%. 100%.
100%, man. Oh yeah.
I love it, dude. It's I don't know, like it's
I mean, it's a lifestyle.
it is a
You
lifestyle.
know what I
It's-
think is the key to like really figuring out your passion, I feel like, is having deep self-reflection and
Yeah.
being able to go out and try different things
Yeah.
and kind of taking off that judgment of yourself to go out and try these different things.
Yeah, there's no time for woe is me. I don't have the time. I'm bored. I don't have these traits. You can work your ass off. Everyone, yeah, people are gifted with things. We talked about this yesterday, but it doesn't matter those people that are gifted with those traits. They still have to put the work in. It doesn't matter. You still have to work your ass off. You still have to wake up early. You still have to stay up late. You still have to not eat the cheeseburger. You still have to eat the chicken. You still have to start doing those things. It doesn't matter who you are, what gifts you have. You still, but it takes time, man. It's a process. You learn, you try. If you fail from whatever you try, you figure it out what you're not going to do again, and then you keep moving. You realize, okay, I'm not going to go on that path. I'm going on this path. And you might learn something when you fail too, and then you're like, I'm going on this path, but I know I can do this and that to avoid something else.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you just have to keep your head down and keep moving, man. I mean,
yeah, and everything that you try is just one step closer to figuring out that passion that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, if you went out and you wanted to try chopping wood to see if that was your passion, but you know, you end up hating it. You know, that's one thing that you could check off that you know that's not your passion.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing that you found out what you didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree 100%. Sometimes it might take someone. I mean, there's people who start like Warren Buffett. He didn't start making his fortune until he was after 50 years old.
Mm.
I was like, that's insane.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So his net worth, whatever it is, billions of dollars, I saw that he made 98. I want to say like 95 or 98% of it after he turned 50.
Man,
yeah,
that's
insane. Like that's nuts. Like you know, maybe it's not going to happen right now, but if you keep trying new things and learning and adjusting, it's going to come eventually.
Yeah, and that takes me to you guys know Gary Vaynerchuk?
Oh yeah, dude, yes. I love Gary V.
A lot about that, man. Like taking off that pressure of feeling like you got to have your whole life figured out at 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, or at 30 years old. Like, this is a continuous, ongoing game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may feel one way right now, and then, like we were saying, 10 years in the future, you could feel a completely different way.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another thing I want to circle back to because we said it. You don't compare your chapter 1 and somebody else's chapter 20.
Yeah.
You think what would happen to Warren Buffett at age 49 right before he took off? Would have said, oh man, like I'm already 49, like what's even the point? And we wouldn't have this guy to talk about all this guy that knows this dearth of knowledge and this experience that everybody else has to look up to now. And he didn't compare his chapter 1 to chapter 20.
Yeah.
So I mean he would have just gave up then, where would we be at? And then also, actually I forgot where I'm going now.
No, even just think about like Elon Musk. We were talking about this in the Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, he was getting shot down by all these big people for like his idea with Tesla and SpaceX. Like, I think they said like NASA literally told Elon Musk that his idea would never work. Mm-hmm. And then here he is, who just launched a spacecraft into the freaking stratosphere and then landed it back down and all the parts. And like, I mean, that's crazy. Like his idea, he was told from literally NASA, that nope, your idea won't work. I mean, like pretty much like essentially told him like, yeah, you're stupid, it ain't gonna work. And like if someone was Elon Musk, they might be like, man, dude, nope, NASA told me I won't make it. I definitely can't make it then. Right. But no, he kept pushing forward. He kept adjusting. He was like, he kind of kept it in the back of his mind. He said, he was like, all right, I gotta go prove him wrong. And then he just started working. And like, dude, I mean, I think eventually SpaceX is they're going to pass up NASA.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to accomplish some crazy things. But then also, like I was going to say, don't compare chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20, but also enjoy that ride. I think we've talked about before, that ride. Like you see all these people that are famous on IG or pretend that they're famous on IG, like you can enjoy that, ride all the way up. It's not like your life's worth living right at that point where you are famous or you did make it.
Yeah.
It's still worth living.
You
That
still have to
whole ride
appreciate
up.
what
You're
you-
still going to enjoy that whole ride up to where you made it.
You have to appreciate what you
It's
have.
actually crazy that you say that, because I was talking to a friend yesterday and we were talking about that. And, like when you get to whatever you deem as being successful in your life, when you get to that point, it's not going to taste good if you didn't have to go through that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't have to go through the grind, if you didn't have to go through that ride, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to taste as good if you just kind of like one night start something and then tomorrow, like, it's there. It's there. You got it.
You'll enjoy it for a second, but then it's like, it's
Exactly.
But like for us, for example, like we're trying to grow our company, but like we're sitting here every night trying to think of like TikTok ideas, and like this is the grind for us, and we're having fun, like we're enjoying the shit out of it, like we're like laughing about it, making jokes, we're like literally planning everything, and like it's fun. It is so much fun, and again, it's something that we want to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to, and this is a hard topic to talk about, but like everyone's got like their parents in their life that are over their shoulder, and their parents want the best for their kids. Always, they want the best for their kids. But sometimes the parents want to live their life. Gary Vee talks about this all the time. The parents want to live their lives through their kids. Mm-hmm. So their parents start guiding the kids and tell them, you should do this, you should do that, don't do this, don't do that. And they try and tell them exactly what to do, and they want their kids, they want the best for them, but they want them to do things that they never did either. Mm-hmm. So, but that's not always what's best for the kids, though, as well. The kids got to learn to figure out what they like. If they want to start cutting wood and being a lumberjack, fucking let them start doing that shit. Don't tell them, like, no, that's stupid. Because there's people nowadays that, if you think about it, like some of these social media influencers that are like actually influencers, but that do like the stupidest things. Like I know, like, for example, like these guys who play, I call it bags, you call it cornhole, whatever, but like play bags, and they're literally celebrities from playing a game. like from playing a game you play outside your front of your house, like on the lawn. Like back then, people look at that and they're like, no, you can never
get a real job.
Yeah, you get a real job. You can never make money from that. But like nowadays, literally anything is possible.
Those people didn't have that vision that those people had. Yeah, the passion.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
And going off the parents, man, like that. How I kind of like came to look at it, because my parents weren't really on board. I'm not gonna say they weren't on board, but they were scared of, like these passions that I was developing, like bodybuilding and my clothing line and the personal training business, like those to like overtake school. I was in school.
Yeah.
That they were kind of like, just put those on the back burner. And it's not like they were coming from a place of don't do this, or you can't do this. They're coming from a place of, we just want to see you succeed in this. You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like a lot of people that are in those situations kind of had to like look at it from the parents' perspective as much as possible and be like, okay, they don't want what's worse for me. They're just scared of if this doesn't work out,
100%.
And then that's when it comes to you to work your ass off to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, my parents are still like that to this day. I mean, I have like, I work for a company now. We don't talk about who we work for on the podcast, but like I work for a company now, and like my parents will ask me 1 trillion questions about that job, but they won't ask me a lot about what we're trying to build it for. Like I'll try and bring it up, and it's like they're kind of like, yeah, it's they want, like, I know deep down, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, my parents are assholes, they don't want what's best for me. No, they want to make sure that I'm safe at the end of the day.
Yeah, they love you at the end of the day, that they don't want their kid to fail. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's a risk that you're taking, going on, a different path than what other people take. And they know it's a risk, and they just don't want to see you fail. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not going to sit here and think like, oh, my parents don't have my back, but because they got my back, like 100%. Anything that I've ever tried in my entire life, they were the ones that were there for me, no matter whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But even though they might not understand right now, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing and making money and still working on this on the side right now. But eventually my goal is to make that side the main thing. But it's my responsibility to show them that I can do this. And once I get there, then it's like, all right, I have to show them that it's possible. You know, like they see like everyone sees like all these celebrities and these giant, you know, big business owners and whatnot. And they think of it as, oh, you know, like, but I don't know if you can do that. Like this might be just a special one-time thing. It's like, well, why not me? You know, like what separates me from someone else? Like, yeah, they might have got, you know, some money from a family member or whatever to start a business, but like, okay, I'm gonna work my ass off. Like I might start a little bit farther behind. We talked about that before too. Like you might start a little bit farther behind than someone because they might have more resources than you do. But if you have that drive and that worth, I think you're gonna catch up.
UPS was started.
And one thing that nobody can say if you're on your grind and you're truly on your grind is that this person doesn't work hard. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're putting in the work every single day, pumping out videos every single day, going out to get new clients every single day, trying to close deals every single day, like nobody can say that you're not working hard. And then at the end of the day, they're going to have to respect that, you know, whether they believe in the dream or not. They're going to have to respect it because they see you putting in the work.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. It's from when a parent or a friend or anyone looks out and they, from an outsider's lens, and they see that you're continuously posting, like all you said, and all these videos or working out, like they know, they have to know what you want to do in life. They have to be like, oh no, I see this dude every day. I asked him to come out to the bar, but he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay inside today. I'm working on some things. They know, they're like, oh shit, like this is what he wants. Your friends and your family, they know it. They learn to accept it and respect it. You know, I think like one example, like my dad, for example, and he's a person, he's a super skeptical person, always like anytime like something sounds too good to be true, he 100% resorts to it's too good to be true. And like it's like I'm trying to like I'm doing things and he'll like try to make sure I'm okay and make sure that I'm anything crazy, and like we're talking to manufacturers like that we don't even meet in person, and he's like, well, what if they scam you? And I'm like, yeah, well, what if they do that? You know, I'm never gonna know until I try. Like but anyways, like it's just something that once people start seeing other people doing it, like they can see like an average Joe person who's doing it, they're like, oh, they can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
And it's just something that, you know, you gotta sometimes you have to be the example for someone else in your family or someone else in your life.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it feels good too when you start getting friends and family to start joining you on it as well. Yeah. It was nice.
And that ties over to something like this quote that I absolutely love and to my core believe is that great leaders create leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like when you can go out there in the trenches and you can try to manifest your whatever you want to do, that person who's able to see the average person, average Joe do that's going to stir some motivation in them to want to go out and do that for themselves too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then boom, what does that do? That does that for the next person. And then it's just a snowball effect. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Snowball.
I agree. I was going to ask, is there any questions right now or are we good?
Let me check. I was trying to do that a second ago. Let me check.
You're all good. I just, I want to make sure.
I think there's any problems to Rod.
I know. I was looking at that earlier. I just wanted to, we're trying a new method, obviously, to everyone that's listening. So we're trying to partner with his Discord and do questions and all that good stuff. That's how it works. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad whoever talked about this brought that up. I fucking love this book. You read it?
I don't really know.
It's short, really short. It's really good.
So far, I'm not seeing anything, but from what I was reading from my messages from Rod, something's going on because apparently like the connection is not good going into my Discord. So yeah, but
that's all right. I think
it's fine.
Questions, right?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. Do you have anything before I ask the last question?
Yeah. No, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we asked this question. This is the question that we ask everyone on the podcast. If someone came up to you on the street, they saw you in the gym or they saw you in Starbucks and you're getting the drink, coffee like you're drinking or whatever they saw you, and they asked you, I want to succeed in life. What is one piece of advice that you would offer to that person?
Drop your ego.
I love that, dude. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Like
Drop
that.
your ego. That's good. That would be the only thing that stopped you from doing anything in life. You know how many times I had to be willing to look stupid in order to get an answer or to get advice? I had to drop that motherfucker like it was something hot in my hands. You know, like that's honestly what I feel like is the key to you know what I've been able to do for myself. You know, TikTok, for example, like what made me stand out from everybody else was this thing that's not very popular that could be deemed as looking weird and nerdy and this and that, but accepting it and, you know, putting my own spin onto it, which is like how to train like your favorite anime hero. I love that. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching anime since I was a kid. So, you know, being able to do that without the judgment of what the next person may think was my stepping stone to getting this following. You know what I'm saying? Getting these followers and impacting lives and changing lives right now.
100%, dude. I love that. I like that a lot. I think there a lot of people, they base their decisions on what other people will think about them.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's just a second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
And,
And it's at the end of the day, you can make it any decision, no matter what decision you're going to make, you're always going to make someone mad or upset. You think you're doing everything perfect. There's always going to be someone else who disagrees.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares? Do what you want to do, man. Like, it doesn't really matter what someone else thinks about you. That's not their life to talk about.
do what you want to do, and then don't be afraid to like fail.
Yeah.
Because that's just like one more step of succeeding. Failure is not the end of the road. That's just one more thing that's along the path of success.
Exactly.
So, don't be afraid
adding on to that, you guys were talking about this in Life Isn't Fair, but you guys were talking about the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and that I listened to the audiobook of it, and that's so powerful, bro, because when you're able to find something that you want to do and that you love, but you know it may not really be that accepting to most people, you know, you got to be able to find your priorities, you know, and list out your priorities and be like, you know what, this is a priority. This happiness is my priority, not the judgment of what other people may think. And then boom, that can be crossed off so that you can do this. You know what I'm saying? And listing out those priorities is all it is, really, you know?
I love that, man. I agree 100%, dude. That's powerful, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
That's some good shit. That's some good shit.
There you go.
I like it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Anything else or?
No, nothing that could come to the top of my head right now.
Maybe save it for next episode. Maybe another episode down the line.
I think we need you back on, bro. I mean,
bro, I'll be so down, man.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was this episode is literally like, yeah, we have a topic, but it's jammed with so much useful information. Like, people need to listen to this with a notepad and a pencil.
Yes.
I mean, like 100%. Like, take your phones out, start taking notes.
Yes.
Because there's so much shit that was said that's gonna help everyone, no matter where you're at in life, what your goals are. There's something in here that you're gonna learn from.
You know why I love social media and, you know, podcasts like this is because this is the stuff that goes into building a legacy that could last on even when you're dead. 100%. So, you know, when we're gone, somebody 100 years in the future can pull up this podcast and be like, wow, this was fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This was great. You know what I'm saying? And like, that can just be going on until the day of this, you know, when the earth is just gone. You know?
That's one of the things, actually, one of the songs, a kind of random thing. I think it's like a Macklemore song. And I don't remember the exact lyric, but it's like, everybody dies twice. It's once when you actually die, and the other time when the last person says your name or something like that. Like that's the fucking legacy right there.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Yeah, and I don't want to die twice. Fuck that. All right, bro. I appreciate you being on, and we had a good time. Like I said, we're bringing you back 100%, dude. Like this was fucking awesome. So tell everyone where they can find you at.
Most definitely. So everybody can find me on Instagram at @theGen_Z_trainer. Same on TikTok, and on my YouTube, it would be Jamon Gordon, DJIMON GORDON. And yeah,
Awesome.
you can find me there.
Thank you.
Hey, one more thing before we get out of here. When are you getting some more shirts in stock?
Yeah.
Soon, very soon.
We gotta do our own version of a jersey swap.
You said what?
We gotta do our own version of a jersey swap.
What is that?
You see like the NFL players when they like swap jerseys at the end.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna give you some of our shirts and you get some in exchange.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man. That'd be dope. I got a sample coming in next week for my next batch of shirts. So once I get that and see how it's looking, bro, I'm ready to roll with it.
Hell yeah, man. Let's do it. Hell yeah. All right.
Awesome, man.
I appreciate you being on, bro.
Appreciate you guys for having me, man. This has been dope.
Awesome.
Awesome, man.
All right, everyone, have a good day.
You too. All right, talk to you guys later.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.